Yep. We'll go ahead and get started. I want to thank everybody for coming out to our regular February board meeting. And if you notice, we've got a couple of people missing. Mr. Jones is at CTE NCAT with Miss Bobby, his wife, and then Mr. Caldwell sent me a message. Unfortunately, he got stuck. He was traveling today and he got stuck somewhere, so he's not going to be able to make it as well. So we're just the short three of us up here this afternoon.
But
so we have a quorum, so it's official. Yeah. And we'll start. We'll ask Miss Beck if she would to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everybody stand, please, and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Beck. Ms. Crawford, if you would read the mission statement, please.
Sure. The mission of Clay County Schools is to build high-quality learning environments that ensure all students learn at high levels.
Thank you. The only announcement we have is our next regular meeting is March the 25th here in the boardroom at 6 o'clock. And I'll entertain a motion that we approve the agenda as it's presented and as it was in your Google Drive as well.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Shelley, any public comment? No. All right. So we'll skip over public comment and we'll start with Ms. Godfrey on the superintendent's report.
So I just have a few items I wanted to share with you all, just a bit of good news. Our district received a safety grant from the state of North Carolina in the amount of $23,500, and that has allowed us to buy 5 additional bus cameras. We have been upgrading our bus cameras in phases, so those last 5 complete the whole upgrade, so we're very excited about that. Wanted to let you know that our high school has submitted their accreditation, I guess you would call it a portfolio, and I've gotten to just be a small little part of that by participating in the reviews, and we attended just this past week a virtual session with the reviewers, and although we don't have an answer yet, their exact words were, it was quite well done. So I just want to commend our high school staff and our administration for the hard work that they put into that. We won't have an official report until summer, I believe is what they told us to expect. But our initial interview was very positive. They just asked some clarifying questions regarding the portfolio that the high school submitted, and they answered those with flying colors. And it was just really fun for me to just sit and listen and be a part. Certainly a learning experience for me about all the great things that are going on at Hazel High School, but I appreciate the hard work that was put into that process.
Ms. Godfrey?
Yes.
May I ask just a couple of quick questions, please? On the safety grant, did you say that completed the cameras on our entire
completed,
fleet?
yes, it was the last 5 that were needed.
And then also, I think it's important to note how many hours it takes to do this accreditation. I know that Mr. Overland puts in a lot of hours to make sure this gets done, along with others, of course, but it takes a long time to put in all those hours. And
well, I will just say I just read it, and I didn't even read the whole thing. There were parts that were submitted before I transitioned into this position. I just read the standards review, and it was probably about 30 pages, I would say, single space, small font, and it was very well written, very well done. I know that he's got some teams, his MTSS team, school improvement team, that probably contributed to that as well. So definitely a team effort, but I do know there was lots and lots of hours put in.
It's a lot for accreditation.
Yes. It's been a busy weekend on campus. We have been blessed to have been chosen by the North Carolina Education Lottery to be a film site for a promotional video. So the North Carolina Education Lottery supports education in 3 primary ways. One is through facilities, one is through a scholarship program, and the other is our pre-K program. And so there's often questions about how lottery funds trickle down into the education realm, and so that's 3 ways that they do that. And as part of trying to get that message out there, they have been filming these videos, and there have not yet been one for the western part of the state. So Clay County was chosen to be featured in that latest video that they're working on. And so they have, when I say a video, I mean there's been at least a film crew of about 30 people on our campus, Saturday, Sunday, and today. You'll notice Ms. Clemens is not in attendance, so we've had to make some last minute adjustments for the meeting tonight. Ms. Clemens is down there with the film crew as we speak, working on that, but it's been a very elaborate project, but I think it will highlight Clay County and our primary school very well. And so as soon as that video is released, I'll be sure to be posting that everywhere I can, because I think it'll be just a beautiful testament to the facilities that we've been given as a part of the needs-based grants, as well as just the culture and the atmosphere of our schools. So Mr. Overland has allowed us to use some of the high school spaces to highlight the scholarship program. So they were able to use the lecture hall and the media center to do some of that high school piece as well. So
I was just going to ask, the final result will be approximately how long, do you know?
I don't know that. I don't know, but I do know that.
Well, I'm expecting the feature film.
Yes, it's been, there has been hair and makeup and wardrobe and all the things of an official film crew.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Miss Clemens is in her 3rd outfit of the day.
Wow.
Yes, so it's been an exciting weekend over at the primary school.
That's good. I mean, that's good stuff, and it's good to be able to tell our story as well through that and acknowledge the funds that went into that and the work that went into it. So
and the trade-off for us is they actually are giving a stipend to the school for allowing us to be the site. So it's a win-win.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Nice.
And the last thing I wanted to mention was just an update. I plan to do these at each meeting anytime there's pertinent information to share, but as you know, we're embarking upon a new building project with Hayesville Intermediate School, and so just want to keep the public in the loop on where we are with that. So we are currently out to bid on that project. We held a pre-bid meeting for interested general contractors on February 14th. We had 2 general contractors attend that, one locally here and one out of Arden, North Carolina, attended that. And we are scheduled to open the bids on this Friday, March 1st. We have to have 3 bids in order to open those on Friday, so I'm not sure if we'll get 3. And if that is the case, if we only receive 1 or 2, we will have to put it back out for a second round, which may delay the process by about 2 weeks. But we're hopeful that we'll get 3 this Friday and be able to move forward with selecting a contractor for that. Our district has also applied for a supplemental grant. The state made available supplemental grants. The grant period opened on January the 8th. And so we submitted a proposal, an application for an additional $12 million to cover kind of the increase in building materials since this project was first kind of designed and the original grant was given. So we have applied for an additional $12 million. No one has given us a timeline on when we will know about that. The actual grant period to apply doesn't end until June, but we're hopeful we'll know something before that. So that's kind of where we are with Hayesville Intermediate School.
is that bid opening, is that here or
It
is
is
that
here.
at the county? It's here.
It's here at 11 o'clock on Friday with the subcommittee, building subcommittee. You guys have any questions about any of those topics?
Very good. It's
Okay.
good. It's exciting.
That's great.
Okay, well,
So next we'll just kind of keep going with recognitions.
it's me.
Continue on. Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to start off with a recognition. It's been a very exciting day. In addition to having film crew at the primary school, we also had the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction here at the primary school, and they were here. There were 2 ladies here from the Office of Early Learning, and they were here to present a surprise award to our primary school. The award that the primary school was given is called a Champion for Change, and that is primarily related to literacy and how they have changed their practices to increase their student achievement in literacy. So I'm going to read just a little bit to you about that. In a letter, North Carolina Superintendent of Public Instruction, Catherine Truitt, congratulated the staff not only for completing the Science of Reading professional development, but also for standing out among colleagues to receive the Champion for Change Award. This is a result of their systematic, targeted focus on literacy and student-centered school-wide planning for improvements. Under the leadership of Principal Heather Clemens and instructional coach Breeze Raxter, Hayesville Primary School has created an enabling environment focusing on data-driven decisions to support instructional shifts and student success. Through grade level PLCs, teachers are being very intentional about the use of data and its urgency to support improvement as it relates to student learning. Additionally, Hayesville targets school and grade level core data trends with strategic focus on aligned, systematic, evidence-based core instruction for all students. A few examples include a school-wide Science of Reading approach to vocabulary instruction. They have hired a Wilson Foundations coach to ensure fidelity of instruction, implemented Hegarty pre-K through second grade, stepped up to participate in the first statewide letters cohort, serving as a trailblazer for other North Carolina districts, and exceeded state growth in 2023 DIBELS data in every grade level. And we know that it takes every member of the staff to make these changes happen, from the cafeteria to the custodial staff. This award really speaks to the heart of Hayesville Primary School, and so super proud of them. There's a picture from the celebration today on the Hayesville Primary School PTO did a great job of coming in and doing quick decorations after school, but before the meeting. And they had a banner made, they had refreshments and cupcakes to celebrate. It was just a really great time this afternoon. They thought they were there for training. So it was super fun. And then there's also a picture of just the plaque that was awarded by DPI in recognition of their award, Champions for Change.
Can I ask this? This is something that they did not apply for.
Correct.
So they just looked at their data that they had submitted, or as they were going through the data day to day or whatever.
So last January, as they were attending letters training and kind of going through that, and also attending regional meetings, they really discovered a need for changing some of their scheduling, their interventions, just a lot of things, just had to kind of do a 360. And so they did. In the middle of the year, they didn't find an excuse to wait. They just made it happen. And so that sparked some conversations at the state level, because they just said, okay, we're going to do it. And because of that, here we are. They monitored their data, and like I read, they exceeded state growth in 2023 DIBELS data in every grade level. So that's really incredible. And so I'm very proud of them, and proud that their hard work is being recognized. And it was a fun afternoon to celebrate at primary school.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very good.
Especially since they didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know. They thought they were there for training. So it was fun. It was fun. So that's all I've got.
Very good.
There are a few members of the primary school staff here, so congratulations to you guys.
Congratulations. So next we have the Hayesville Elementary School Therapy Dog.
Yes,
Miss
Miss Berkeley.
Miss Berkeley is.
He's kind of just here for my support more so. All right, so this is Crouton. This is our Hayesville Elementary School therapy dog. He was kind of pre-approved by our superintendent while she was still my principal, but we just have taken this and ran with it, and it's been the best thing I personally think that I've done for our school counseling program at the elementary level. So I just wanted to introduce him to our board and just kind of let you know what we're doing down there with him, and hopefully sprinkle some of that into the other schools. And so yeah, if we look on the next slide, do I control that? There we go. All right, there's some pictures of just kind of Crouton in action. He is such a light to our students and our staff as well. I had some reservations from staff at first, thinking, oh, the kids are just want to like have any excuse to come to your office to see the dog. Really, it's the opposite. Like the teachers are finding any excuse to come to my office to see the dog. The kids, I try to make it a point for him to see all the kids every day. So we've started away from them just finding a reason to come see me. So the teachers are they're the real enemies of that. But Miss Judy Jennings' class, she really loves for me and Crouton to come in and see those students. He does really well. He's been sorted. We're doing the house system in the primary and the elementary school. At first, I was going to selfishly make sure he was sorted into my house, but we had him sorted into all the houses. So the students are really proud that he belongs to all of them. Yeah, so again, Adrian, there we go. Okay. So what is a therapy dog? Lots of students, staff, people, even myself was confused with the difference of therapy dog versus service dog. There is a big difference there. A service dog requires a lot more training than a therapy dog does. This dog is specifically trained to provide emotional support and just be kind of a being of encouragement to all kids. And like the number one question I get all the time is, can I pet him? And that's kind of what he's there for. He's there for you to pet him, for you to do, just kind of take him all in. He does my job better than myself sometimes. So that is what a therapy dog is, to promote emotional support. So why do we need a therapy dog? What has he done for us? So it provides support for emotional well-being for our students. He also reduces stress and anxiety and improves mood. A lot of times if I have kids struggling getting out of the car line, if I just kind of offer and say, do you want to walk Crouton in with me? It just kind of instantly shifts. It gives them something to kind of think about other than what's going on at home or sometimes at school as well. It assists in building trust. So sometimes kids will trust dogs before they'll trust me or other staff within the building. It provides a non-judgmental presence, so he's going to love you no matter what, and they kind of know that. And it's enhanced social skills, so it's kind of taught them a lot in just kind of outwardly things. Like there's kids, we go on walks and we talk because Crouton's got to go outside sometimes and get outside, and it just kind of provides a sense of social skills more than I can teach. And it strengthens our school community. Like I said, the teachers and the staff love Crouton. We can tie him in so many ways, with rewards, with it's just been a really good thing for our school. Last, this is Crouton in action. So this is kind of a day in the life of Crouton. So I'm just gonna let Adrian press play and you guys can enjoy.
Hey everyone, my name is Crouton. I'm the Hinsdale Elementary School counselor's therapy dog. Come spend the day with me. Sometimes people will sneak us snacks. Other times we can greet people at the front door. Kinda like checking everything out up here. I like knowing what's going on. I also like hanging out in my mom's office and just greeting everybody that comes in. Sometimes I try out people's wardrobes, see if it looks good. Sometimes I help with schoolwork, homework. And man, I get some great back scratches. Have y'all seen the back playground? Holy cow, it's my favorite place to be. Look how fast I am. Look. Oh, here I go. Oh, here I go. Every morning, I say hey to everyone as they come in. I smell what's in their lunchbox, make sure they got something good. And sometimes Mom lets me run on this hill. My favorite part of the day is recess, where I can go outside and check on my friends, make sure they're having a good day. Sometimes we go on walks. Sometimes I just kind of sniff around, see if they spilled any lunch on their clothes that they want me to clean. I don't mind to clean it. Have y'all smelled the lunch here at school? Man, must be the best lunch ever. Did y'all see that hug? Best hugs. And sometimes I sunbathe, getting a nice tan, getting some good scratches. Here I am, my favorite playground. I'm telling you, look how fast I am. The fastest you've ever seen. And sometimes I hang out in the principal's office. It's pretty fun up there. And now I'm back in Mom's office, just hanging out. Oh no, you caught me falling asleep. But listen, my job's pretty hard, you know? I work real hard. Now I'm patrolling the halls, walking friends back to class, checking on my 5th graders, make sure they're being good role models. Heading in the library, checking on Miss Kim, making sure everybody's being nice to her. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm sleeping again. Now I'm in a meeting. It's getting pretty boring, but you know, I'm just giving my best opinions. Finally back home and can't wait to go back tomorrow. Bye, guys.
That's kind of the day in the life of Crouton. He goes wherever I go and kind of does a better job than I do. And then the last is, are there any questions?
Where did you get him?
That is a unique question. I actually have always wanted to rescue a dog, and and then when I became a school counselor, I also wanted to have a therapy dog one day. And then I thought, what better resiliency lesson to teach than to have a rescue dog become a therapy dog and show kids real life what love can do for you. And so I rescued Crouton this summer. And lots of people thought I was crazy because you don't know. Normally therapy dogs or any kind of dog you're going to have around children, you've seen them when they were, you've had them since they were babies. But I intentionally made a checklist of what I was looking for, and I kind of gave the rest to Jesus and ended up with the best dog I could have ever asked for the job. So.
In your packets, there is information just in case you all have questions or get questions about this regarding the certification process that Berkeley went through to have him certified, as well as his certification card is in there as well. But Berkeley was really intentional about communicating with families before Crouton ever came on campus, to find out about allergies, to find out about students who were perhaps apprehensive about dogs, to make sure that we were being as proactive as possible with integrating him into the school climate. But will you share with them about the fundraiser?
Yes. So our house, we picked a fundraiser, a coin drive. And we had the kids vote on what charity they wanted the money to go to. And we gave them all sorts of options, the Clay County Food Pantry, Matt's Ministry, and then there was also a animal shelter. I rescued him from the Jackson County Animal Shelter, and we wanted to do something that was a local animal shelter. So we put that as an option, and it was, without a doubt, when they voted, they all were like, Team Crouton, we want to help support animal shelters. So they raised over $2,000 just in coins. And it was the best thing to watch them give back and watch truly what their love for him has done for our community. So I give that all to them. There was kids coming in with rolls. Carissa and I spent hours at the credit union unrolling and counting, and it was the best thing ever. And those kids were so proud and humbled, and I think that was a statement to him and what he's taught them in just a short, I've had him since October on campus, so he's taught them so much already.
You may have answered the question already, but I didn't understand if you did. How long has he been in the school?
We kind of eased him into the school because he started training in October. He started his training. And so he had to have 6 weeks worth of training and before he was ready for his testing, for his certification. So while he was in the process of getting training, I started bringing him in October during staff or our teacher work days so the staff could meet him and so he could kind of learn the building. And then I brought him to the school. I think I just said, okay, I'm just gonna throw you in the gauntlet and take you to a house hive. And so I showed a video of the kids to Crouton so they were kind of aware of it, and then I brought him and they were ready to meet him. So we eased him in like once a week, and now he comes pretty much every day.
That's cool.
I love it. I love it.
It's been the best.
Absolutely.
It's been
love
awesome.
it.
That's good.
All right. Any other
Thank you,
questions?
Berkeley. That's
Thank you.
Thank you, Berkeley.
terrific.
Nope. Next we have the beginning teacher award.
Yes.
Yes,
I
wow.
have all the good news to share today.
Wow.
So I have the honor of recognizing Miss Heather Carpenter. Please come up here. I'm going to talk about her while she's up here. So if you don't yet know Heather, this is Heather Carpenter, and she is one of our newest teachers, but absolutely killing it already as a beginning teacher. She has been chosen as a recipient of the Dogwood Trust Grant, which supports aspiring educators. It's sponsored by our RESA, and she's being recognized in based on her dedication, passion, and potential in the field of education. And this grant will allow her to further her academic and professional journey. So with this award comes $1,500 of tuition assistance, $500 student teaching expense support, and 4 free professional development sessions through RESA. Wow. So we're super proud, super excited for you, and are happy to honor you. I was just talking with her today. Looking at her mid-year data results, her growth was when we're looking for 50% in the middle of the year, hers was in the 90s. Wow. So she's really doing a great job, and we're super proud to have her as part of Clay County Schools. So thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just beyond happy where I am. It wouldn't be without a lot of encouragement. I see like Miss Angel, Lisa's always smiling. Miss Melissa I started subbing and she had a direct line to my number all hours, and I was always there. So without all of that encouragement, I wouldn't be where I am. I was just telling Miss Melissa when I came into this very building to sign up for subbing, I applied for high school only. I said I will only touch high school. I walked out of the building and I turned around and came back and I checked all the boxes, and I couldn't be happier than I am in primary school. It's where I belong.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Next we have Mr. Overland and Coach Byers, Mr. Caden Gordon.
So I got Caden Gordon here. I took over wrestling at Hayesville High School 2 years ago, 2 seasons. And when I got there, this is one of only 2 returning wrestlers that we had. There were only going to be 2. He helped me lead the team over the last 2 years. We now got over 20 kids on the wrestling team. And most recently, he just got like 7th place. I think we determined he's the 7th place 165 in the state of North Carolina, 1A. So quite a feat.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
Oh, just try and keep the wrestling program afloat, because it taught me a lot about life and how to be disciplined and stuff. And yeah, that's all I got to say.
So this year we are 3rd in our conference, only behind Robbinsville and Swain County.
Wow.
We beat everybody else.
Congratulations.
Third now. From 2 wrestlers to 3rd, and this kid helped me lead him. So
It's awesome.
Nice job.
Let's get a picture.
okay.
Angel, can you get a picture?
And all this, I'm gonna add this, and all this while, Kaden, you work a part-time job also, don't you?
Yep.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Come get in the picture. Mr. Overland, you want to come get in the picture?
I'm not much of the rest of the other pictures.
Oh,
Maybe you should speak that way. Too tall.
That'll work.
All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
We need Heather too. Yeah.
Let's get Heather too.
Yeah. That's what we just said.
thank you.
So I have a little bit to say about this
because Heather's not here.
Okay.
So
Who's going to do that?
she has some people here to do it.
Okay. So next we have the report section of the agenda, and we'll start with the Hayesville Primary School mid-year data. And of course, Ms. Clemens isn't here, so she's got some folks filling in for her.
Yeah, so about 5:45, Miss Clemens texted and said she wouldn't be able to be here, that she's still busy with the film crew. And she said, can you present my data? And I said, sure, no problem. Well, then in walk these lovely ladies who are here to support their teammate, to support Heather in her award. And I said, hey, since you guys are here, would you like to present the primary school data? And they were like, sure. I say that to say thank you, ladies, for just stepping up at the last minute and representing your school. That's tremendous leadership, but also to know that they didn't have a lot of time to prep. So
bear with us. So we use 3 data pieces at Hayesville Primary. We use iReady, Reading and Math, M-Class, and NCENSI. So those are 2 of them are for the iReady reading and the M-Class are both our reading. One they do on their iPad, the iReady reading and math, and the M-Class is one-on-one, and it is timed, so they only have a length of a minute to be tested in that area. And the same with the math. So this is our iReady reading and math. As you can see, what we like to see is that green get bigger and the red get smaller, and we have done that as a K-2 school. Our beginning of year at or above grade level, you can see, was 7% and 13, and we went to 22 and 24. And our red went from 11 to 5%. So that is really good for K2. On the math, as you can see, we are also growing in that. At the beginning of the year, we were 1%, and then we went to 15, and then we were 8 and went to 16. And then our reds went from 15% to 3%. So we are overall growing in our math scores also. And then you can see this is the kindergarten iReady. They progress towards typical growth is 64%, and 5 students have met their stretch growth. And so that is really amazing in kindergarten. And then in math, 6 out of 6 teachers are greater than 50% towards their typical growth, and 12 students have already met their stretch growth. So that's really good. That, like Ms. Godfrey had said, 50% is our goal, and anything over that is just awesome. Yep. First grade, you can see that they reduced the at-risk to 3% from 6, and 12 students have met their stretch growth. And 1 teacher is at 90% towards their stretch growth. And then math, they reduced it from 12% to 3, and 4 students have already reached their stretch growth. And 1 teacher is at 80% towards their stretch growth. So that's really strong for first grade. And then second grade reading, the progress towards typical growth was 66%. 4 out of 7 teachers are 80% towards their typical growth, and 1 teacher is at 92 towards their typical growth. The math, our typical growth is 65%. All teachers are 50% towards their stretched growth, and 1 teacher is at 96 towards their typical growth. And 5 students have already met their stretch growth. So, M-Class. This is the timed 1 minute, and it's one-on-one, where the iReady was at their pace and on an iPad. This is one-on-one, and our MTSS team does this. So it's the same ones, test them throughout the year. That way they have that same person
looking or doing their testing. And so you can see that on that we have went, beginning of year we were at 37% below grade level, and at mid-year we are 28% below grade level. Beginning of the year, the red is well below and the yellow is below, and we were at 78%, and then we went to
Two separate years? No, the same.
no, same year, beginning and middle, and then we went to 69, and then on grade level we had 72% at the beginning of the year and 29% mid-year, and then 15% were at above grade level, and 21 had went to above grade level.
I think it's important to note that these slides, the beginning of the year is on top, whereas the iReady,
Yes.
the beginning of the year is on the bottom.
Confused me for a minute.
The data reporting is just different. I do think it's also good to note that this data is very comparable to last year's. When we're talking about this award, the primary school won, part of that was based on them exceeding growth in every grade level in DIBELS. So this specifically speaks to DIBELS. And so each one of these assessments, whether it's timed or untimed, or whether it's teacher given, or whether it's just self-directed on an iPad, all of that weighs into the data. Obviously kids struggle a little bit when it's timed. You know, if they're just one who reads a little bit slower, that may reflect that they're below grade level, when in fact their reading skills are good. They may just not have that automaticity yet. So I think it's really good that you guys are using multiple data points to evaluate your students' learning.
And also on the M class, we also look as a school at like your reds, whether they're errors or if it is timed.
Oh, right.
Because that plays a difference in our tier process and how we do our interventions with them and how that works. And then with kindergarten, you can see all of the, like she said, the top one is beginning of the year, middle of the year, and our reds have gone down, and all the others are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And so we have 82% of students are on grade level at PSF, 80% of students are on grade level in vocabulary, and our score is 55, is very similar to the projected state average of 57. And so fluency, speed of recall is our greatest obstacle right now in first grade. And then 77% of our students are on grade level in vocabulary. Our score is 53, and similar to the projected state average of 56. And fluency and speed of recall is our greatest obstacle also in second grade.
All right, I'm going to do the NC, which is what we have chosen to monitor math progress with conceptual math, not the standards of math. So it helps us determine whether our students are responding to our core instruction. It measures accuracy and rate associated with the concept acquisition. So it's not just algorithmic knowledge, but do they really understand why they do what they do? It helps direct our instruction based on those measures, and it does not determine our intervention groups. We're just kind of looking at it to see if what we do for core is effective. So in kindergarten, when we administered our growth monitoring assessments, they don't have a BOY in kindergarten, so they just got their MOY. They're looking at two measures: the ordinal positions, which one is first, which one is second, can you point to the third, can you point to the fifth, do they know those, and part and whole. If I've got 3 over here and my whole number is 5, how many do I need to have over here? And then, so this is the beginning conceptual understanding of addition. So that's where they are, whole part understanding. In First grade, they did both a BOI and an MOI. So it shows that 60% were responding to our core math instruction. And they grew in the BOI from 35% to 60%. So that's a big jump. And their two measures are ordering numbers and verbal addition subtraction, which is really hard. You're saying to them 3 plus 2, and many of them, they have 3 seconds to respond. And many of them have to say it again, say 3 plus 2, by that time their time is up. So even though they understand the concept, because it's timed, so we look at that as well when we look at the time. Do they just hesitate enough, they understand the concept, or they just don't understand it, and that's where we need to give them a little bit more support. Second grade, 72% of second graders are responding to core math instruction. They grew from the beginning of the year from 44% to 72, great growth. And their measures are verbal addition and subtraction, place value. If I have 465, what's 100 more? What's 100 less? What's 10 more? What's 10 less? And they also have a fluency assessment where it's written and they have to answer so many addition, subtraction operations within a minute. Any questions? Yay.
I didn't even tell you when I asked these ladies to come up and present who they are. So we have Louise Smith. Thank you, Louise. Heather Carpenter, of course, and Pam Shepard. So thank you, ladies, so much for stepping in.
Next we have Mr. Overland, the high school.
Good evening, Clay County. Stacy Overland, Principal of Hayesville High School. Wanted to share end of course testing proficiency rates for the first semester courses. In biology, that rate was almost 67%. In English 2, it was 51.1%. In Math 1, it was 26.7%. And in Math 3, it was 65.9%. Those were our EOC results.
Okay, well, CTE is a little bit, I have more to share with you. Okay, well, I'm going to share with you our CTE proficiency in our CTE post-assessments and our performance-based measurement. Agriculture, the first cluster, we had 88% proficiency. In business, finance, and information technology is 90% proficiency. Health science was 97%. Trade and industry, 66%. Family and consumer science, 95%. And marketing, 84%. Next slide. We had 320 students enrolled in CTE courses. Of course, that's duplicated. Out of 320 enrolled, 226 students earned one or more workforce-ready credential this past fall. Next. Now, Work Keys is a test that kids take when they are a CTE concentrator, and that means that they've completed a level 2 course. There's 3 components to Work Keys. There's workplace documents, applied math, and graphic literacy. And we had 6 students earn platinum medals, 13 gold, 18 silver, and 20 bronze. If you earn silver or higher, you earn what's called a National Career Readiness Certificate, which is known through a lot of businesses and industries across the United States. So these were pretty good scores. So, thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Nice job. Thank y'all.
And then I'm going to stay up here. See, we have 3 members of the class of 24 out here. We have, I see Emily hiding behind the door. I see Emma. I see Maverick. And I think they're here to listen to our plans for graduation. This year, school ends on a Friday, May 24th. We traditionally like to have graduation on Friday. Now, having it on the last day of school is a very difficult thing. We still have some students who are testing. We're trying to get those results together, and in some cases, figure out if a student is actually going to be eligible for a diploma that night. So when we have school end on a Friday, having graduation on a Friday is tough. But waiting another week for the next Friday is also tough. We don't want to do that. So we're planning our graduation for Saturday, May 25th at 7:30 p.m. That's Saturday, May 25th, 7:30 p.m. I see a few people writing. We're going to celebrate the 86 graduates. of the class of 24, like we always do. It'll be a great ceremony. And our plan A is at Frank Arlon Memorial Stadium across the street. If it should rain, this is the thing about not having it on a Friday, you don't have as much makeup time. You don't have another day in that weekend. So if it should rain, we will still do graduation that day, that night, at the same time, but it'll be in the gym. Okay, so what we will do is at our graduation practice, we'll have tickets for each of our graduates, which won't be used if we're having outdoor graduation, as I think we all would prefer, because we can hold a lot more people there. If we do have to go indoors, each graduate in the class of 24 will have 15 tickets to give to their family and friends, and then that one will not be as open to the public. All right, May 25th, 7:30.
Thank you, Mr. Ogle.
Reaction?
We love the thumbs up.
That was the approval you were looking for, right?
Look at him, he's like,
Whatever, right? Next, we have the action item of the agenda, and we start with the 2024-2025 school calendar, and you're going to talk about that a
Yes,
little
do
bit.
you want me to talk about it from here, or should I go up there? It's preferred.
Either.
Either? Okay, I'll
I'm
just
good
stay
with
here
either.
then. Okay. So in your packets, as well as we have it on the screen as well, it's broken into two parts maybe. I think it wouldn't all fit on there. So our calendar committee has been working very hard. So just to tell you a little bit about the process of how our calendar is put together. We have 4 representatives from each of our schools, and that includes a variety of people. We have teacher representatives. We have oftentimes the school improvement team chair is on that as well. We have a parent representative from each school. We even have a student at the high school level that serves on that. So we have a variety of people that contribute to the conversation. And what happens is that each school, thinking about their students and their priorities, develop a calendar to support the district and what they feel is best for our students within the parameters that were given by the state in terms of the number of days that are required. There are things that we must follow in terms of how many holidays we have built into the calendar and how many instructional hours are built into the calendar. So this calendar does follow instructional hours, not instructional days. And once each school has brought their request, their version of the calendar to the committee, then they build consensus, and they have presented one calendar for your approval for the next school year. So, you guys have any questions?
I do, if that's okay.
Sure, and we can approve this tonight, or we need to have it approved by the March meeting. So if we want to wait till everyone's here, whatever the case may be.
So I guess my question is, I mean, this one looks like it ends before Christmas break, if I'm looking at that correctly.
So we have this, are you talking about testing?
Testing,
Yeah,
yes,
so
sorry.
in this calendar, we do have testing before Christmas break.
But it's 11 days.
less.
Yes. So that's the trade-off. If you try to balance the semesters, you end up with testing in January, which proved to be difficult this year. The kids have a long break, and then you never know what weather you're going to encounter in January. So that's challenging. Trying to do it before Christmas, also challenging because of the inequities between the semesters. So after this year, Mr. Oberlin and his team said, they thought it was very hard, and they were willing to go back to consider, testing before Christmas. But of course, we would love to find a way to balance out those semesters a little more, but it can be difficult to do.
Obviously it seems like January, which of course this year was, we always have our
It was our hardest weather.
riskiest weather right there where we're testing. And I don't know how teachers feel, but 11 days, that's 2 full weeks pretty much of instruction difference.
Yes.
Well, how big a deal that is, but
Yeah. So, can I?
Well,
Huh?
I was just going, is there a way that we can, I think for me, Robert and Danny not being here, I don't want to necessarily approve, even though we've got a quorum, I don't want to approve a calendar per se. Don't necessarily want to make things harder on the calendar committee either, but I mean, I would like to see if the calendar committee could put together a second alternative option for us. That would maybe possibly start a little earlier in August. And still finish up testing, obviously before Christmas break. I feel like that would benefit our families if we could do that. I think that would obviously make it easier on teachers getting done before Christmas break, and try to equalize or equal out the number of instructional days so that they're not feeling like they're cramming in a whole semester's work in 2 weeks shorter amount of time. So is that too much to ask of the calendar committee to try to
Well, they just had their
put
last
together
meeting
an
on
alternative option?
last Wednesday, so they're still very much together and
Calendar
working.
mode.
Yes, so that wouldn't be a problem at all to reconvene and consider a second option. Not a problem at all.
And then we can look at this option plus the alternative option in March.
We will.
Is that
Miss Becky Stewart has been leading our calendar committee, so I will pass that information along to her at the request of the board, and we will see what that looks like.
Is that Miss Beck and Miss Crawford, or y'all?
Yeah.
See what it.
I'm fine with that, yes.
Just give another option to look at, and we can
11
discuss.
days it's quite a difference, and, you know, it's been
For instructional time.
accomplishing that somehow with, you know, having that testing in December.
Right.
I think that's a real interesting point and something that we need to really consider.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we can ask them to come up with something, I like that, what you were saying, and, you know, maybe starting a little earlier.
Yeah.
But I wonder if we start a little bit earlier on the alternative schedule, could we build in a couple more, like, I don't know, maybe, gosh, I hate to say this, but maybe a little fall break, you know, just to have a day or two there, if that would be possible. I don't know.
I think it
I'm
depends
not
on
talking
how much earlier you would want to start.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I know this that's presented is going by state requirements and stuff. I mean, just to reiterate, I think everybody knows that's in here, we're required to start that 4th Monday by the state of North Carolina. But if we could do a little something to help out that first semester.
Yeah. That would just need to come at the request of the board. We will, what we're recommending is based on what, you know, the parameters that we've been given. But an alternate would need to come at the request of the board. So we can certainly see what that looks like and give you guys that option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I think we would probably need to make a
You
motion
want a full motion?
to make that alternate.
Okay.
I'll make a motion then.
So Ms. Crawford's made a motion that we have an alternate calendar that starts earlier than August the 26th. Is there a second to that?
I'll make a second.
Ms. Beck, second. All in favor? Thank you. Next, we have
Oh, that's me too.
Clay County Schools Summer Retesting Plan.
So the state allows us to offer retesting in certain areas for EOGs and EOCs after the school year ends. And by retesting our students, we can offer them an opportunity to retake the assessment, and if they are proficient on the assessment, then we are able to count that into our school performance grades. That proficiency will count toward our school performance grade. It does not factor into the growth model, so we can't recapture any growth, but we can recapture proficiency. Mm-hmm. And so we are opting to take advantage of that summer program. And so this summer program plan that you have has some information about what we would like that to look like. We have included all grade levels 3 through 12, and to include reading, math, science, NC Math 1, Biology, English 2, and NC Math 3. The only area that you can't retest is 3rd grade reading. So that's why there's an asterisk there. And so our instructional dates would be, that we would be doing remediation would be that 28th and 29th. And then retesting on the 30th and the 31st. And in order for us to submit this to the state, it does require board approval and Dr. Shook's signature. So wanted to present that for your consideration.
So is there any questions on that summer reading program? Or retesting program, sorry. If not, I'll
I was just wanting to ask, regular classroom teachers will do the updates.
Instruction. So yes, because these are, the last day for staff is not until June 7th,
Okay.
we're able to do this while we still have staff on campus.
Okay.
So.
That's good.
any other questions or comments?
It looks good to me.
So I entertain a motion that we approve the Clay County Schools summer retesting plan as it's presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Ms. Crawford, is there a second?
And again, could I ask just,
Yes.
this is a application to submit, or are we approving that it's already done?
No, so we have to have the board approval along with Dr. Shook's signature to submit this to the state.
Okay.
So once we have your approval, we'll submit it. It's due April 1st.
Thank you.
So Ms. Crawford has made a motion. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And next we have the budget amendments with Ms. Hollingsworth.
Okay, we have a state public school fund budget amendment as well as a federal grants fund budget amendment for approval this evening. For the state, we'll go over that one first. We're needing to budget an additional $199,858.51. And I've got everything listed at the bottom of the amendments for you to review. A large part of that is for $63,250.90. That's for longevity, annual leave, and bonus leave payouts. That is a guaranteed allotment, so as we are issuing those payments to those staff that qualify for longevity or that separate employment from us, then they give us the funds back. The same for the parental leave. That's a guaranteed allotment too. That is the new leave that they gave for new parents this year. So they are giving us monies back for the subs. So that's $2,906.55. Right below that, you'll see a change that has ABC transfer. We're allowed to, any unused months of employment for CTE, we are allowed to convert those to dollars so we can use them for their program. So that was $23,370. Then we have $121,116 going into our small county funds, and that is also an ABC transfer. Part of that is coming from the DSS funding, which is disadvantaged supplemental student funding. $46,018, and the reason why we move that to small schools is we have more flexibility on the use of it once we transfer it over for use. We've got the part of the grant that Ms. Godfrey mentioned earlier for the cameras on the buses. They are releasing 85% of those funds in this current school year, so that's $20,010. A correction to our test result bonus of $19. And then the other funds that's going into our small county funds, the ABC transfer is at-risk student funding, that's $75,098. $10,800 to school connectivity, and then $102,872 in textbook and digital resources. We normally, in the past, had not budgeted all of those funds during the year because of the way that they would make us draw those funds down, but they have changed that this year, and all those funds are available, and if we don't use them, they do still carry over. So that's it on state. Do y'all have any questions? On the federal grants fund, we have an additional $17,840.35. $1,862 is for the CTE program, and then $15,978.35 is for IDEA special needs targeted assistance. Do y'all have questions on the federal?
I don't.
Questions or comments? And entertain a motion that we approve the budget amendments as they were presented by Ms. Hollins. Good?
Yes.
So, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion.
Yeah,
Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Next, we have the mowing contract.
In your materials that were uploaded in the Google Drive, you had information regarding our campus-wide lawn care contract. We have used Chattooga Outdoor Services over the past few years. The last time we did receive proposals was back in March of 2022. They $66,000 was the price that year. We did anticipate things going up as everything else has. Last year it was for $70,950, and they have quoted us to do it for the same price as they did last year. And part of the reason why I wanted to upload the information for you so you could still see that awarding it to them to go ahead and continue is still less than what our highest bid was when we took proposals before. So we recommend approval of that contract.
So we've heard Ms. Hollingsworth recommending approval of the contract for Chattooga Outdoor Services to continue mowing services. So a motion there.
Make a motion.
Ms. Beck makes a motion.
And I'll second it.
Ms. Crawford second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I do have two other items. These are more information items that were included in your materials. Hazel High School, they need some mini splits installed, and this is in order to improve some air quality and dehumidification issues upstairs and downstairs. And then we got quotes for those, and we would like to go ahead and draw down $7,632 and some change from our R&R funds, as well as we want to go ahead and start preparing for summer projects. So we need to replace carpet tile in some of the classrooms at the high school, and we are wanting to request $24,583 for that. So we will be pulling those down from R&R funds. That's the lottery money.
So that would include the classrooms that weren't done in this most recent flooring project?
Yes.
This would be the carpeted rooms.
Those carpeted areas.
Do you need a motion and approval for that?
No, it's below 30,000. Mainly just for information purposes. I wanted y'all to have that information, and I'll gather your signatures.
May I ask a question? And it's not really in regards to this, but it made me think, and I've asked this before, and forgive me because I can't remember, but have we ever done a radon testing or anything in the high school? Is that my phone?
It's an Amber Alert.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know,
Mr. Oberlin, if we know? That's probably yes. It's probably a question for me.
Not that I'm aware of since I've been here, and I've been here since 2013.
I asked that before, but I don't remember what was it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It just made me think of that.
We can find out from
I think it'd be
Mr.
curious
Livers if he has a
anything
record of anything.
Look into those.
So
Thank
Will,
you.
if I understand correctly, Shelley, remember when Mr. Penland brought in the pipes that were like, so that was going to be a big undertaking to fix that. So these mini splits will allow us to not have to fix that particular thing because it will provide what's needed in a different method. Also, our maintenance staff can install those, and we can save a lot of money.
That we will just purchase the equipment, and they plan to install it this summer.
Because those pipes were under the floor, right, of the high school. So I mean, the floor would have to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is a great internal fix for a pretty big problem for these mini splits.
The carpet that is being, the tiles being replaced, the carpet tiles, is that right? Are those floors scheduled to have this type of covering? No? Okay, yeah, because it's in, it's media center and the.
It's the band room,
okay,
the media center, and the lecture hall.
Gotcha.
The acoustics, it just wasn't feasible to
Gotcha.
put these kind of floors in there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hollingsworth. Next, we have the consent agenda. And
We have one more.
oh,
Kindergarten registration.
sorry.
That's okay.
Kindergarten
That's okay.
registration.
And so Ms. Clemens isn't here, so I'll speak to that. She wanted to ask the board for consideration, and I'm in agreement with her on this. She would like to propose a change to the school calendar for only kindergarten. So what she would like to do, and I know that our neighboring counties do it this way, is to have a day dedicated for kindergarten registration. And so the way we've done kindergarten registration in the past, we've done several evenings. And I think because it's offered multiple times, it's easy for people to say, I'll do it at the next one, I'll do it at the next one. And so it kind of prolongs the enrollment process, and we still end up right before school not really knowing how many kids we're truly going to have. So the idea is to make a day where we could focus solely on registration. We would have all of our kindergarten teachers, all of our kindergarten assistants on hand. We would set up where they could do their entry assessments. We would have our staff there. It's hard to have all of our staff on deck in the after hours. We would have stations for parents. We feel like it would be a much better opportunity for our kids, especially students who weren't in pre-K, to come into the school, get to meet the staff, and really equip them for the registration process, and do that early enough that we have a better understanding of our actual numbers for kindergarten. So that helps us plan in terms of how many teachers we may need, how many classrooms we're going to need. And as you all know, the space at the primary school has filled up quickly. We've just had a real surge in enrollment down there, and so it does help for us to know, planning purpose wise, how many classrooms we expect to need for the upcoming kindergarten class. So she would like to propose that April the 4th be a remote day. That's just prior to spring break. Make that a remote day for our kindergarten students only. We wanted to propose a day that's far enough out that we give parents enough time to adequately plan for that change in the calendar. But since it is a change in the calendar, it requires your approval. And again, this would only be for kindergarten, to allow the kindergarten staff and the school administration to hold a registration event. Hopefully knock that out in one day rather than multiple evenings. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions about that? Comments?
I mean, it makes sense. Everybody's already there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
coming back in evenings. So we've heard that recommendation from Ms. Godfrey. Ms. Clemens wants to change that to a remote day for kindergarten only. So is there a motion that we do that to allow for kindergarten registration?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
So there's a motion, expect second. All in favor? Thank you. Now, consent agenda. And on the consent agenda, there is one thing that I want to make a note of. Policy 8325, the daily deposits. In that policy, there was a blank there for a dollar amount. That dollar amount is $250, which is what the original policy was.
Okay.
So the only change to that policy is the footnotes at the bottom. So just wanted to clarify that blank was $250.
That particular policy was provided to us in a PDF form, so we couldn't enter anything on the line. So I apologize if that information was left out, but.
So there was nothing, it was just the footnote change.
The footnotes are the only thing that's changing in the policy.
And I just want to note, that policy 7100, when it's talking about the recruitment and selection of personnel, there's a part, and I know this came from state, so it's not anything that we've changed, but it has on there about age, and then it says 40 or older. I just have to know, that is so strange to me in there.
And is
And
that
I
a part
think you
that
were saying
changed?
it has to be
That's the
40 or
action.
older to file a
To follow
discrimination,
or
a
age
grievance,
discrimination.
yeah.
Was that something, was that in the new part?
It was
Uh-huh.
redlined, and so yeah, it was the new part, and I just felt like that was so strange.
Yeah.
But I mean, it came from the state, so it's not.
So all these changes come from, just for the public to know, all these changes come recommended or required by the North Carolina School Board Association. That's where our policy changes originate.
And I'm certain that's required. It was a requirement, but it's just again, it's
The
just so
wording of
odd
it's
to me that
strange,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So any other questions or comments about the consent agenda? No. If not, I'll entertain a motion that we approve that with the change, making note of that $250 in the policy 8325 with daily deposits.
I make a motion that we accept.
Okay.
and approve.
And I'll second
Second,
it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And then information, we just have two policies, the 4720 surveys for students, and then 1310 and 4002 parental involvement. And those,
Can I speak to those
Yes,
for just a
yeah,
minute?
thank
Okay.
you. Uh-huh.
So these policies are up for first read. If you follow our policy changes, you will know that those there were actually recent changes to those back in the fall as part of the Parent Bill of Rights. There have been additional updates from the School Board Association. So these policies are policies that have recently been updated, but this includes new updates to those policies. I wanted to just kind of let you all know that next month we're going to be talking more in depth about the Parent Bill of Rights and talk about, there was lots of policy changes in the as a result of the Parent Bill of Rights that were made back in the fall under Mr. Penland's leadership. And those changes are easily viewed on our website. If you go to our website, you go to clayschools.org and you click on School Board, and then you click on the policy manual. There's a list of recent changes, and you can easily see all the changes by date of those when those have been updated online. So I just wanted to let you know that there is next month I plan to present a parent guide to student achievement, a parent handbook, and that will be presented next month at the board meeting. In addition, I will just kind of give the public some kind of overview of how the policy changes have affected us here in Clay County a lot. I think it's important to note that the policy changes are updates to existing policies. They're not altogether new policies. They're just changes to policy. And just kind of what has changed here in Clay County as a result of the Parent Bill of Rights. And so there'll be more to come on that next month, so just wanted to let you know. But since we're talking about these surveys to students and also parental involvement, all these changes are coming about as a result of Parent Bill of Rights. So I just wanted to let you know that that change is also involved with that, but also that there will be an update coming next month that you guys can look forward to. So.
very good. Any other comments or questions?
I do. I just want to say real quickly, last month, a lot of you emailed us, and because it was school board recognition or month, stuff like that. Appreciation, yes. And we are so appreciative of that. Your remarks, it means so much. I mean, you know, and of course there were so many, I couldn't respond to all of them, but I just want to thank y'all so much.
It was nice. Yeah.
Our school system is just amazing.
Some of the most thoughtful, very, very kind words.
It was.
I appreciated that too. Thank you for mentioning that, Kelly.
Yeah, and we just have an amazing school system. It just blows my mind. Okay.
Very, very fortunate.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Yeah. Well, if there's no other comments or remarks, then I'll entertain a motion that we go into closed session.
I'll make a motion to go in closed session.
Ms. Crawford. All in favor say aye. Thank you.